All right. Hey guys, what's going on? Katie Day with the Movement to Texas team at Coldwell Banker, going live here on Facebook and YouTube as I am live on Clubhouse with Stephen Kim, talking all things Instagram for real estate. So I'm going to turn the volume up on here. If you are in Clubhouse, then hop in and ask some questions. If you are not, feel free to ask questions on here. And yeah, we'll kick off.
So we'll just give it a few more minutes. Thank you so much for everyone joining. Chelsea, Megan, Amy, Naomi, Elizabeth, Mike, Yvette, Sarah, Cyril. That's an awesome name. Octavia, Keenan, and Jenny, Tara, and Con. Oh, Con, what's up, man? Great to see you. I miss seeing you at Summit. The food trucks. That was pretty.
Wait, who said? Did someone say something about food trucks?
No, Con's on here. Remember
Con.
we did the
yeah,
the food trucks at Summit. So this is awesome.
Buddy Con out in California. All right, so we should be live on Facebook as well.
Okay, cool.
It's basically just a picture of me staring at my phone. Always fun, always fun.
Awesome, cool. So let's give it a couple more minutes for people to get on because realtors are historically late.
What?
Not these ones here, though. This is like a rockstar panel. On time, early. Love it.
I like it.
I'm just trying to find you right now on Facebook, Katie. So
it's Katie. Last name is Day, D-A-Y.
Oh, I see you. There you are. Perfect.
Cool. So as we get started here, if y'all have questions, please feel free to raise your hand and come up on stage and ask whatever questions you may have in regards to Instagram and optimizing Instagram and things like that. Steve and I both spend a lot of time on Instagram. We both have very different Instagrams. So I always love, talking with you because we both do such different things. And yeah, we definitely welcome any questions, comments, questions about your Instagram and whatnot. And we'll get started at the top of the hour. For those of you, I see a lot of people with party hats on. So the little emoji in the bottom right-hand corner of your picture, if it's the party hat, that basically means that you are somewhat new to Clubhouse and the app. If you guys haven't already, make sure you insert a bio in your Clubhouse profile. And then also make sure that you have your Instagram and or Twitter linked up to your Clubhouse profile, because basically there are no DMs, there are no comments, there are no likes, there are no shares in Clubhouse. So that is how people will get in touch with you. As we go through this, if you guys feel as if you're getting any value, we would very much appreciate you to ping someone into the room. And how you would do that is press the plus button and invite a friend or two to come hang out. But yeah, that's kind of housekeeping housekeeping items. Rochelle, what's going on?
Hey, Katie Day, I'm just watching you on Facebook right now, and you have your Visa card on the back of your phone, and you're pointing it to the computer, which is awesome.
Good thing it's only the last 4 digits of my thing, and there's probably no money in that account. So yeah, I'll drop it down. But yeah, there's sorry, Facebook hackers, you will get nowhere with my money.
Awesome. It's 2:01, so let's get on topic here. I want to respect everyone's schedule here. So really excited to share kind of what we've been doing to experience. I'm going to say to experience the level of business that we've been getting from Instagram, and to kind of start the conversation off. This is not a quick pill. It's not kind of a one plan, one pill cures all. This is absolutely strategic in a sense of what type of content do you want to post, when do you want to post it, and really even before that, what's your objective? If you're going to play in this arena of Instagram and you're strictly just looking to get business, they're going to roast you. Right? Instagram is going to roast you because at the end of the day, people are coming onto Instagram for primarily one reason and one reason only. It's for entertainment. Right? So always remember that. So whether it's a thumbnail you're creating, whether it's a post, whether it's a video, there's some level of entertainment that has to come or has to be kind of fueled behind your. it's entertaining enough, whether it's your thumbnail or your caption, whatever the case may be, then there's kind of that intriguing factor where they're going to click on your post, and that's when you can hit them with value. So you got to be real. I'm not going to say careful, but almost strategic in terms of what kind of content you're posting, but really what's the primary objective. So let's get right into it, Katie.
Yeah, for sure. And
I would say one of the first things I always pay attention to is I take a look at someone's bio. So when I go onto other realtors and other people's Instagram accounts, I want to take a look at your bio because I want to get to know who you are. So some things I find to be very, very beneficial with regards to how to set up your bio. Number one, who are you? Who are you? Where are you from? Please make sure that you have some associated hashtag that speaks to either your brand or your slogan. So for mine right now, it's hashtag paying it forward. If you don't know the paying it forward movement, then Google it. But right there, it's not like, top realtor and hashtag top realtor in Toronto. No, I want to tell you a little bit about who I am, hashtag paying it forward movement. So for those people who don't know, every single successful transaction in real estate, I donate a portion of my commission to a registered charity of my client's choice. So it's feels for days. At the end of the day, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you don't know who I am, you're going to quickly get a feel for kind of my vibe. And like Tom Ferry always talks about, your vibe attracts your tribe. So hashtag it up, a very concise bio, and then I know we both use Linktree, but a Linktree essentially
I don't. I've left Linktree.
Oh, okay. I use Linktree, and the reason I like Linktree is I like associating other places where you can go check me out, whether it's on YouTube, a podcast, a blog, whatever the case may be. KDD, why are you not on Linktree?
So I've told you this. I've told you this, and you've ignored my text messages. So I actually switched from Linktree to links.co, and I've sent it to you because I have I think I get $1 off if you sign up for it. But I actually like mine because it's cleaner than Linktree. You can actually add dividers in for different subjects. But I have in mine, it has links to agent stuff, right? It has links to Houston stuff. It has links to my legal, like the legal stuff that we have to have in our Texas profiles and things like that, as well as like scheduling a meeting and leaving a review. So it has everything in there. I think one other thing, I know Steve mentioned hashtags in bios. You can also tag other things. So if you are part of a team or part of a group or part of something, you can tag, at and the username of, whatever it may be in there as well. So, say there was only one charity that you supported and you wanted to show that you were supporting that charity, you could put at and that charity in your bio, or, whatever other organizations or things that you're a part of. One thing that I think we've kind of failed to mention was a little bit of an intro to ourselves. So Steve and I are both real estate agents, and we met through the Tom Ferry Network, I guess 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, the best 2 years of Steve and Kim's life, knowing me, is what he always says. And so, yeah, we met a few years ago, and we actually didn't know each other. And I think this is the reason why I'm telling the story, is because I think this is the power of social media. So Steve and I actually did not know each other, and we were at the Summit, which is an annual conference that Tom Ferry has in the past few years have been in Anaheim, California. And we both had known each other through Instagram. We started following each other, at some point, I don't even know when. And I remember we were in the gym at 5 a.m. and we passed each other, and we did one of those like double takes where you like look at a person, make eye contact, and then you realize like that you actually know the person. And we both like, jumped out at each other. And we're like, holy shit, Steve Kim? And he's like, Katie Day? And the rest is history.
Yeah, I love that. I love that story. I think you're bang on. There's just this genuine authenticity about you, which is why we connected. But, to take that story one step further, we just left off from where we were engaging on social media to now in real life, and it was this kind of seamless transition. And the reason why that's such a powerful story is because I've used Instagram to do the exact same thing in my business. The greatest compliment I get is the moment an Instagram lead comes through and we're DMing back and forth, and then we meet for the first time in person. We kind of get to know one another. The best compliment I get is, "Oh my gosh, you're exactly how you are. on your Instagram are as you are in real life. And I think that just speaks volumes to just coming across as transparent as possible and as authentic as possible. So great story, Katie. I think it's tremendous. Let's give some great nuggets here in terms of Instagram tips. So why don't you go first? Because you're the one that set this up.
Oh, I was going to ask you a question. So, Steve Kim, the majority of your Instagram, if I click in your profile, let me actually make sure you're linked up before I say click in your profile. Yes, you are. So when I click in your profile,
and I look. Sorry, Katie, Dave. Sorry to interrupt. So sorry. I forgot to tell people where I'm from. So I'll tell everyone where I'm from. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Sweet. Awesome. A little bit about you know what's so funny? Everyone, you know, I shouldn't say everyone. That's a broad generalization.
Many people. Most Americans
will describe it as Toronto, Canada. That's like me saying Houston, USA. You're missing a big piece of the geographic puzzle there is our province, which is like your state. So Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It's crazy because I had an amazing referral from an agent from Montana being like, oh yeah, I have a client who's looking at selling their property in Canada. Canada's massive. It's like saying I have a client who's selling their property in the US. Got to get real specific. So Toronto, Ontario, Canada, licensed now 8 years. I was six of those years I was part-time. And I was teaching actually, full-time elementary school teacher, almost 17 years, transacting part-time real estate for 6. And then I finally burned the boat, January 25th, 2019. And I have been full-time less than 2 years now. So coming up actually on my 2-year anniversary, full-time. So sorry to interrupt, Katie Day.
All good. I'm used to it with you.
Canadians say sorry a lot too, by the way. So
Canadians, the nicest people. Okay. So anyways, may I ask my question now?
100%.
Okay. So my question for you is, if I go and I look at your Instagram, you don't really talk a ton about real estate, right? So can you talk a little bit about kind of your content calendar and kind of how you came up with it and why you have, you know, motivational quotes and Home Tip Tuesday and Foodie Friday and all the things?
Okay, cool. How about I share with everyone what my content looks like? So I try to post at least 7 videos every single week. Now, before you're like, oh my gosh, that's insanity. I'm not saying that people should be doing that. However, to not post 1 video a week on your socials is, I think, a tremendous mistake, especially for every single person listening right now who is a realtor or realtor, however you want to pronounce it.
No.
Okay, so my Monday posts are my Monday motivation. So I'm going to hit you with a little bit of motivation. And the background for that, or the reason for that, is being a former school teacher. I used to have 34 grade 8 students at 8:20 in the morning on a Monday. If I don't engage them the moment their bums are in the seats, I've lost them for the day. So that Monday motivation stems from my teaching. Tuesday home tips. Look, we preview thousands of properties a year. There are so many amazing things that we learn on these tours that we should be sharing to the general public. So again, just kind of giving that value, that information. Wednesdays are my #RHill. I live in Richmond Hill, just inside of Toronto. And so I want to be the digital, the goal there is to be the digital mayor, to know when all the events are happening right now with COVID-19, what's open, what programs are available for families and kids. Thursdays are my Think About It Thursdays, so I'm a huge proponent of quotes. That comes from my teaching background. I'm a huge foodie. I love eating everything. So that's Foodie Fridays, the Steve Kim Show on Saturdays, which are my market updates, and then the vlogs on Sunday. And then I sprinkle in some other pieces of content throughout the week. So I'd say that 7 to 10 videos per week is where that's coming from. Now, in terms of type of content, for every single realtor listening, please, if there's one thing that you take away that I share with you, it's the 80-20 rule. And I'm actually going to be talking about this at the Tom Ferry Elite Retreat in a couple of weeks. The 80-20 rule, and I'm sure you've heard this before, is 80% of your content, please make it personal. The other 20%, make it professional. Still let people know that you're a kick-ass realtor or realtor. Now, you all as real estate agents can crush the 20%, right? So when I entered into the arena of social media, all I saw from a majority of realtors were coming soon, just listed, just sold, just listed. Like, that was the sequence, and it was over and over and over and over again. And I was like, you know what? I want to break this pattern, because at the end of the day, Instagram is a tremendous platform for us to showcase who we are when we take our realtor hat off for a hot second. And really, at the end of the day, that's what's going to generate you leads, and that's going to turn into business.
So
This concept,
can I interrupt you?
100%.
Already did. May I interrupt you again? So one thing on the just listed, just sold is I think that to add a little asterisk to what Steve is saying is I think someone, if you all don't follow them already, is Krista Farr, Farr, and they're the Farr Group Northwest out in Spokane, Washington. And they do just listed, just sold. But when you look at their post, it tells a story, and it tells a story of the family that had been, looking for 2 years, or they connected over, their love for golf or trips to Mexico or, other things. So they tell the story of their clients. They tell the story and the journey that they went on with their clients. And I think that that's something that's way more endearing than saying, hey, I sold this home in 2 days. So that's just a little thing that I wanted to add, and I think is important. If you are posting just listed, just sold, is showing some of the science or the feel goods behind that.
Yep, 100%. I would agree with you. Just try not to post everything around real estate. I'm going to say is, again, and to each their own. I know the Farrs, they're awesome. Chris is amazing. They're very eloquent in terms of sharing the story behind it, which is adding that human component, which goes back to that 80%, showing that kind of personal side. Now, in terms of the real estate content that I've posted, I'm going to be honest, it's probably a fraction of the leads that I get through. The people who are, and if you're in real estate, you understand kind of top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. Like all social media leads are top of funnel. They really are. Whether you're going to target them through ads, it doesn't matter. They're top of funnel. What I've seen though, with regards to Instagram specifically, is that I'm getting people now being like, oh my gosh, Steve, I've been following you for 2 years now. The moment that DM slides through, that's bottom of funnel, because I've provided them some level of consistent value or service over the course of 1 or 2 years, to the point where now those DMs coming through, there is no qualification in terms of like, hey, I want exclusivity working with you. They're just now asking, hey, Steve, do you have time to work with me? And I think that's tremendous for all the realtors listening right now. Imagine just having a funnel of leads that are simply just asking you, hey, Katie, do you actually have time to work with me? They've already made up their mind that they just want to work with you. And so kind of being able to build that kind of audience is tremendous. And while I'm talking about audience, who cares how big your audience is? And yes, I just said that. Katie, I know you got a massive audience on Instagram. I think it's like 3 times, 4 times larger than mine. At the end of the day, you're going to find that tribe that so deeply appreciates the value that you're giving to them. It's not, look, we're not generalists as realtors, we're specialists. So being able to work, a special audience or a special section of social media, if that even makes sense, has been tremendously important to me. I'm not about trying to get 100,000 followers. That's not the name of.
You're not about that?
For me. I'm not about that at all. It's providing consistent value to the audience, which goes back to kind of content.
Yeah, for sure. So we just had a question that someone posted on Facebook, and I definitely want to dig into it. And I think people probably have similar questions that may be listening now. So their question was, something I'm confused about with Instagram business and personal pages. Should we focus on just one? So, I think that Steve kind of answered this already a little bit in saying that you should have, some personal things on your Instagram, and it shouldn't be all about real estate. But I think you should just have one Instagram. What are your thoughts on that?
Yep, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Have a business Instagram account because you can obviously run ads through Facebook Ads Manager. But regardless of it being a personal or a business account, my business account is almost all personal.
Yeah.
Right? So try to think of it that way. You're setting up your business. It's like a brick and mortar. You're setting up a business. Sure, you want people to know what services you provide, but that doesn't mean that they're going to come step through the door and give you business.
Yeah.
Like, how much are you involved with the community? What's your mission statement? What do you stand for? Right? Which is why, there are so many incredible brands that have a cult-like following, right? Because people know what they know what their vision is. They know the mission statements and stuff. What's your take though, Katie Day, on personal versus business?
100%. I definitely think that you should just have one Instagram. I do have two. I'm not gonna actually have like 7, but I do have two. But I really only post on Move Me to Texas. I do have another personal one that I'll probably put something up maybe once every month to 2 months. And it's normally just not major life events, but like life events or things that like I want to keep track of for myself, and they would get lost on my business Instagram Move Me to Texas page. So like I really only focus on that one. We have some others, you know, for different projects and developments and things like that. But really, I think that one makes the most sense because you should be posting consistently, and in order to do so, you need to, you know, have your focus on one. I think one thing too, you know, I saw a post or a comment on the Facebook stream, you know, when you said you post 7 videos, someone was like, oh my God, 7 videos. I think the biggest thing, and I think Steve always scares people when he starts talking about his content strategy because he's been so consistent for years and does post 7 posts a week, video posts a week, is perhaps you start out with 1 a week, right? And you do your market update Monday or market update whatever, or something each week on Monday. And then once you get that going consistently, then the next month or a few weeks later, you add in something on Monday and Wednesday, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you slowly scale up. I think what a lot of people do as far as Instagram goes and social media and just real estate in general is they go all in for a day or two or for a week. And when nothing happens, they stop. So my word of advice or my, you know, thought is that you need to do everything for at least 6 months. But I would almost even say that Instagram is even a longer term game than that. Digging a little bit more into content, I think that. Actually, go ahead.
Can I add to that, Katie? You're 100% bang on. Like, look, if you're looking to like start doing Instagram posts or even Facebook, don't expect business to start to start funneling in. What I tell everyone is if you're going to be consistent, stay consistent for a year, because don't forget, like, it speaks volumes to your brand. If you're gonna start posting a couple of times here, you're gonna come into the gates super hot, all fired up. You start posting, and then a month or 2 later, you're done. That speaks volumes to your brand. It speaks volumes to the consistency, your dedication, and your commitment. So when I started off, I didn't start off with 7 posts. No, that's insanity. I started off with 5. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I'll share with you, when I started off with 5, I was still teaching full time. So I just didn't post any videos over the weekend, the Saturdays and Sundays. And so, yes, I have a life. I have an amazing wife. I love her, like, to the ends of the world, to the umpteenth degree. I have 2 beautiful children. I run a team. I coach 1.5 days every single week. Like, if I have the time to do this, trust me, like, starting off by doing one consistent video a week, you have the time to do it. You really have the time to do it. And I would suggest start with 1 video a week. Now, if it has to be real estate related, okay, fine, then make it real estate related. But if you want to really like navigate Instagram properly, couple it with a personal video. So 1 professional, 1 personal. At least you can go 50-50 every single week. Do 2 videos a week. And as you start to, that muscle memory starts to kind of kick in. You're like, I got this. I can do this. Great. Add another video and have that video run for another few months. And now you're doing 3 videos and then ramp up. Don't go the other way around.
100%. So one other thing on content strategy that I want to chat about is something that if you're not already doing it, you should be focusing on Reels and then also IGTV. But Reels right now on Instagram, because they're new and they're trying to compete with TikTok, is that they are pushing them super high on the algorithm. So it's showing up on explore pages and things like that. So do Reels.
Yeah, Reels are fantastic. You know what? I want to let everyone know a little something about algorithms. People blame algorithms for why their posts don't do well. The best way I've been able to navigate through every single algorithm change, consistent content. I'll say it again. The best way to navigate through every single algorithm change is your consistent content. So yeah, when the algorithm changes, do my engagements and views and everything, does it go down? It does for a short little while, but then it picks it right back up. So please don't let the algorithm or people's concept of the algorithm prevent you from staying consistent. Because consistency here, especially on Instagram, consistency here is what wins. Look, I'm not winning people over on my looks, right? But the consistent level of videos that I'm posting out is what is allowing for me to always stay top of mind with people.
You're pretty cute though, Steven. You gotta admit it.
He's blushing.
I know he is. I can see there in his profile.
Dave,
Yeah.
Dave, is that you?
It's Rochelle.
Rochelle from Boca.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she put me in. I wanted to piggyback on something that you just said that I think is really, really key, which is consistency wins the day. And I'm going to say consistency plus quality. So what you put out, Steven, tends to be, well done. It's well articulated. It's clear to the viewer what you're trying to say. Like, it's obviously well thought out. And that quality keeps people coming back for more. So consistency plus quality, I'm going to assert that beats the algorithm every time.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Rochelle. I think you're bang on. I find when we associate the word quality, like make sure your posts are, good quality or sound quality, I think that it becomes a challenge and an obstacle for people to just be like, you know what? Rochelle's doing it like this, Katie's doing it like this. I just forget it. I'm not going to do it. Because if I can't look like that, if I can't have my post look like that, then I'm not even going to enter the ring. So everyone who's listening, I was going to say watching, everyone who's listening right now, I want you to go YouTube, Steve Kim Show #1. It is the It is the most cringe-worthy video that I have ever put out. It is something like 10 minutes, terrible sound, terrible lighting on the 3 smallest whiteboards known to like humankind. And I'm talking about market stats and you can't even read the numbers. So you're bang on, Rochelle. Like, quality is paramount, but I just don't want people to use that as a reason as to why they don't start. Because
go ahead.
To this day, doing over 1,000 videos in just over 2 years, I'm still on the hunt for the perfect video. There is no such thing as the perfect video.
There's really no such thing. And I would encourage anybody who's maybe new to video or nervous about video not to collapse high production quality with high quality, because you can pay a lot of money and come out with something that does not hit or resonate with people. Like, who remembers Waterworld? It was like the most expensive film ever. Maybe even today, it still remains the most expensive film, but it didn't resonate with people. So even, there are some people producing content right now with, if where you are is you have a phone and a selfie stick, but what you're saying is clearly articulated, it's well thought out, you do your best to keep things stable, that people can actually hear you clearly. In my estimation, that's quality. And so I would encourage anyone listening not to collapse production value or production quality with just overall quality. And you're the master of that, Steven. You obviously think your content out really, really well. Katie too. It's clear, even if Katie's in her car in a more casual setting, you'll hear her talk about the market, and it's clear that she's done some thinking in advance and that it lands with her audience.
And I'm normally in my car because my dog is wailing in the house somewhere, so I've just got to get away from her. Brian, welcome to the stage. Do you have a question or a comment, or? There should be a little.
Oh, yes.
Yep, there we go.
Oh, yes, I got it. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm really actually new in this Clubhouse thing.
Welcome.
But yes, hi. How are you, Steve? I've been following you for a very long time. How you been?
Hey, good, Brian. How are you, my friend? It's nice to speak to you.
Yes, finally, yes. But yes, I listening to you guys. I have to say, yes, I totally agree with Steve. I mean, you just have to pick up the camera and start rolling, man. Don't debate on that, and just keep doing. And eventually, I guess the quality is gonna be there. The experience is gonna be growing tremendously. Like for myself too, I remember I'm doing it right now, like what you are.
Yeah.
I seen you on it, I believe the first time, like way back last year or something like that. And yeah, I'm start picking that up, and I just start filming and start rolling, and it's a tremendous I would say differences from last year and now. So
yeah, And Brian, you crush reels, man. Like honestly,
You guys
they're
can
so
hear me?
entertaining. Yeah, I can hear
Oh,
you.
really?
Brian. Yeah, man. I watch all of your reels. I like all of your reels. I love them, especially when you got your kids involved in them. I think it's awesome that you showcase that. But it's awesome and it's great. You got some great content for those people listening. Make sure you check out Brian on Instagram. He's got some killer content. And so it's awesome. But you know what? It's great
Right.
that you're able to share like kind of your journey of like how you kind of started, right? Now you're kind of like, it's like muscle memory. You now know what to do, right? Which is awesome. That's amazing. So
I
happy to
tell
have
you the
you
truth,
on.
I'm still learning. You know, like of course, social media thing is not like you're gonna learn it overnight, or you're gonna find that secret recipe or something like that. You're not. You're gonna learn it every single day. There's something new that you're gonna discover. Like for instance, like even like this, right? Clubhouse. I mean, this is something like just pop up maybe, I don't even know, this year, the beginning of the year or something like that. But it's just eventually, you know, you try to pick things up over time, right? Just do it. Don't just, you know, listen in or so. I mean, yes, listen in and find out more information. But my recommendation is like you said, Steve, just pick up the thing and just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, bang on. Like, I'll be honest. Anyone who hasn't started their video journey, I'm going to say, conservatively, your first 50 videos are probably going to be junk. It's fine. That's fine. My first, I think, 100 or 150 were garbage. Right? It's the level of consistency that only made it better, and that's exactly like what Rochelle was saying. Like the quality of the videos now that I'm producing, it's just on a different level compared to where I started off. And she's bang on that, but I would never have been able to get to where I'm at right now if I didn't put out 100 like janky videos like in the very, very beginning. Because at the end of the day, it's not vanity. It's not like, hey, look at me. It's listen to me. This is
Your journey. I think that's the amazing thing about Instagram. Like you guys talk about Instagram, is the journey that actually people see you doing, right?
Yeah,
that's the amazing part. You know, they can actually see you doing and performing. That's the beauty of social media, and that's what people are curious about. So if you'll be able, even to like Steve said, it's not have to be like super high quality, but I mean, at least they're seeing that you're performing and doing certain things. You already beat the other guy. You understand what I'm saying? The other guy that's not even there.
100.
Yeah, and Brian, I wanna just piggyback onto that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really pay attention to that woman or that man. On Instagram, I know my lane, I know my objective, and nothing's gonna kind of not to stand on like on my high horse, my soapbox. Just nothing's gonna stand in the way of me getting to where I want to go. Like her content, his content has no bearing on what I'm doing. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does. I totally agree on that.
Yeah. That's awesome, Brian. Thank you so much for sharing. That's awesome, man. So happy to chat with you, man.
I know.
It's so awesome.
Hey, man, one day we're gonna, sit down and eat something after all these things go over. All right?
Awesome, brother. You stay well, all right?
Yeah. You too, buddy.
Awesome.
Awesome. Paul.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes. How's it going?
Very good. How are you guys doing today? I'm loving this discussion we're having so far.
Good deal.
Thanks for sharing your time with us, Paul.
Thank you for sharing your time. So my question actually is for you, Stephen. Obviously, you're making a lot of videos and doing quite a bit yourself while still being in production and coaching. Are you setting aside a specific time block every week to create all of these videos, or are you doing them every single day and then editing them?
Yeah, great question, Paul. It's probably the most commonly asked question I get. I absolutely do time block. Every single Monday, 10:30 to 1 is my filming, editing, write-up, hashtags. It's all of that. So I am religious every Monday on that, and that's why I'm consistently ahead about 2 months. At least 2 months, I'm ahead of production in terms of videos that have already been filmed, edited, and the post write-up has been created for. So great question. It's like prospecting, right? We all know we're realtors. We got to stay committed to the prospecting because that just continues to build the funnel of leads that come through our business. video has just been such a tremendous pillar for me. So last year alone, actually, it equated for over 50% of all my business was social media and videos in particular. So absolutely, you got a time block. And then to piggyback onto that, I'm going to say, try to stay at least a month ahead of schedule if possible. Now, before most people are like, are you crazy? A month ahead? That's insanity. Look, if you're doing 1 video a week, it's 4 videos. You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you.
Thank you so much, Stephen.
Yeah, no worries. Great question, Paul. Thank you. Did we, let's have Barsha ask her question.
Yeah.
Hey guys. Oh, it's my first time speaking on Clubhouse. Thank you. I'm excited for this.
We're excited as well.
You know that. Yeah, I'm super excited to be here. Katie and Stephen, I think I've followed you guys in my limited time in real estate. I'm in my 2nd year right now. My question is, I'm trying to do these videos. Okay, my consistency, yes, is lacking, but I am trying, and I feel, you know, it's an interest for me, and I want to keep investing and getting better. I'm bombarded with too many things, I think, in my head. Where do you kind of have a strategy for a realtor? Because I mean, social media, there's everybody's in that space, right? So are there places that we should focus our efforts? I know, Katie, you just said Reels is something we should be focusing on. IGTV. And then the other one is, you know, YouTube is a space we need to be present on. Are we kind of, you know, duplicating the content for both of these spaces? Where, you know, should we focus our efforts? Because there's a lot out there.
So there totally is a lot out there, and I know it can get overwhelming. And I feel overwhelmed very frequently with, you know, the different platforms and all that. You know, I know, Steve, you may be able to comment as well about a little bit about time management and the different systems. I mean, I think that, you know, there's the short form video. So that's going to be like Reels, TikTok, stories, things like that. And then longer form content would be what you would put on IGTV, Facebook, or YouTube. The thing with YouTube is people go to YouTube to search. So, you know, you want to kind of think about YouTube as kind of like a Google. So, you know, things like pros and cons of a city, things like, you know, cost of living, things like, you know, top 10 things about a city, things like that are going to do very well on YouTube. But videos like that I've posted on Facebook kind of don't do anything. So, I mean, I think that all of them are different by way of what you should be posting. I think as far as what I kind of take a look at for Instagram is, you know, really focusing in on having a mix of content. So having both pictures, carousel photos, that's when you put like anywhere between 2 and 10 photos in a post. And then again, Reels, video, and IGTV as far as video content, and just having a mix of those things. So, you know, some of that is going to be about Houston and about restaurants and things that you can do in Houston. Some of that's going to be about our listings. Some of that's just going to be about us. Some of it will be about other things that I've kind of drawn a blank on, but other items. Steve, do you want to expand on that anymore?
Yeah, I think, Barsha, it's a fantastic question because, you know, there's so many other platforms, and it's this concept of like FOMO. Like, if I'm not on LinkedIn, like, oh my gosh, I'm losing all this business. No, it's not that at all. It's just, don't forget, every single platform has a very different audience. So for me in particular, when I put out a piece of content, it goes everywhere. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, business, personal, sometimes TikTok. I'm just starting to navigate that right now, but you got to be mindful of the content that goes out there. Like, I'm not putting all of my content that I'm putting out right now on YouTube because, like Katie says, it's a very Google owns it. So what are people in my marketplace searching for right now? So about a week ago, it was, you know, just like a few days into the new year, I just launched top 3 predictions in real estate for the Toronto market. Now, I only have something like 200 subscribers on YouTube. So for all intents and purposes, you're like, okay, that's nothing. But I got over 1,000 views because people, I guarantee, were Googling top predictions for Toronto real estate 2021. Now, I'm not going to put that on my Instagram and Facebook accounts, like the whole video. I'm going to put that on YouTube because I know Google, obviously Google owns YouTube, like I said before, people are searching that. Don't forget, on social media, like the Facebooks and Instagrams, people are going there for entertainment value. They're not going there to learn anything. So we got to get something in front of them that's going to entertain them enough for them to spend a little bit of time to click and watch the whole video so that we can inform them. So number one, try to get the attention to entertain, so much so that they click and we can inform. That's the way that I structure every single one of my posts. Now you're gonna be like, okay, well, Steve, are you really that energetic all the time? I think Katie can answer that.
Yes, the answer is yes.
It annoys you. It annoys my wife like tremendously, but that's okay.
Yeah, she's an angel. So Varsha, I'm on your Instagram right now, and I think you have a great mix of posts. I'm seeing, just a regular post, a carousel, a video. I would say you should have more view on here. But I see frequent posts.
I struggle with that. I feel like there's too much of me on it. So that's, I think I do have to find a balance. But what both of you said actually was super eye-opening. I've never thought of YouTube as a search engine, which why wouldn't I think of it that way? And you're right, they go on social media for more of entertainment. So say I wanted to do a more educational, why moving to Guelph, Ontario, something like that. Would you then make a smaller, I don't know what the technical term is, but like a small little teaser clip for Instagram and tell people to go onto your YouTube to watch the rest of it? Or how do you do that?
Katie, do you want to answer? I can answer too.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go ahead, that's fine.
So Varsha, what I've been doing is I'll create a thumbnail, and then I'll post the thumbnail on my Instagram and then just tell everyone to check for the full video, click the link in my bio. Because my YouTube account is linked up to my link tree. So I'm trying to get people's attention with a fun graphic thumbnail, an engaging thumbnail, so that they're going to go. Now, I understand Instagram, for people to go from one post or platform to another, not going to happen. Most people won't do that. But Instagram, I'm just trying to let my audience know, being like, oh, just don't forget, I'm on YouTube. Don't forget, I'm on YouTube. I find every time that I see a post where it's on one social media platform and you're trying to get them to another social media platform, I'm going to say probably almost less than 1 or 2 people are actually going to shift over to that platform. And that's probably going to be like your mom or like your dad who's rooting for you. Because it's just, I understand, not that I'm like, I understand social media. I understand what people are doing on social media. They're there. They want entertainment in that space. To have them to try to go to a different space where you're at, almost impossible. Doesn't matter who you are, probably not going to happen. If that makes sense.
May I offer something on that question?
100%.
If you're doing full format videos, and the idea obviously is, people on Instagram want entertainment. I can say if you're doing long format, you can also add them to IGTV. Then have them in your feed. Only the first 60 seconds or so will show in your feed. And then if they're interested in continuing to watch, it will take them over into your IGTV. Mm-hmm. I upload format videos to both Instagram and into IGTV and let people watch them there so they're not leaving the platform. And I do use the same thumbnail that I use on my YouTube channel. So that content's in 2 spots. Nice. I find that different people are watching that content in different places. Steven said, people don't like to leave the platform. That's 100% true. And you're not going to have a lot of people who are going to watch a 10 or 15 minute video on IGTV, but they are out there. And if they're curious, it's nice to just give them more of your goodies.
And Varsha, the only other thing that I would say, I see that you do have a lot of IGTV on your Instagram, is adding hashtags to those posts. So you have, really good descriptions and things like that, but I would add some additional hashtags to them because some of them only have like 1 or 2. As Steve said before, he plans out all of his hashtags for his content. You can put up to 30 hashtags on any Instagram post. So just something to keep in mind. They shouldn't be just, stock hashtags. They should be relevant to the post, relevant to your area, and, things like that, because nothing's more annoying than clicking on a hashtag and seeing a bunch of spammy stuff. But you can always put up to 30 hashtags on a post.
Let me
Thank
piggyback
you guys.
Awesome.
Sorry,
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback on to that about Katie Day when we're talking about hashtags. I was going to talk about hashtags, so let's do it now. You can post up to 30 hashtags, but make them varying. Like if you're only going for like the most searchable hashtags, like love or hashtag happy, your post is going to get buried. There are in that day over 1 billion people that have posted something to do with hashtag love. So
Don't look at it as like, oh my gosh, there are a billion people like looking at this hashtag. No, it's that there are a billion people who've used that hashtag. So all you're doing are using the most, highly searched or highly, watched hashtags. Your post is going to get buried among that. So get unique with your hashtags. Like venture out there. If there's only like less than 100, try it. Because the algorithm could be like, you know what? This post that Varsha did, great. It's a unique hashtag. Let's see what happens. And they'll just push it up a little bit just to see what happens. So I think that's really important to pay attention to as well with hashtags.
Thank you all. I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Brooke, what's going on?
Hey guys, this is only like my second time speaking on here, but Steve, you did answer some of my questions as far as just how different the audiences can be versus Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I do feel comfortable recording. I just started, so if y'all go and look, you won't be too impressed. But as far as like posting them,
don't say that. I just started following you recently, and like, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, thank you. I love your. Yeah, I feel like yours are very creative, and I'm just kind of scratching the surface right now with them. But I feel comfortable recording them from TikTok to Instagram. But for me, Facebook feels like such a different audience, and I actually get more interaction on Facebook and more organic leads. But as far as like videos to post on Facebook, I do like all of our live open houses, but just struggling with some content ideas. The area that we're in, I say we because I'm on a husband and wife team with my husband Chase, and we're in Odessa, Texas, and it's an oil field town. So there's not a whole lot to do here. So when I see like Katie's videos of all the cool places in Houston, I kind of get amped up and I'm like, okay, I need to do this. But I struggle because there's not a whole lot to do here. People mainly move here for the oil field and their families.
So let me ask you, Brooke, if I moved down there for the oil fields and I got 2 kids, school-aged kids, what are the top 3 parks? Like whether it's a playground or an amusement, like where should I go?
Okay. And that's funny you say that because I was Googling our town a few days ago and parks were one of the main things that had popped up.
Okay. So my parental brain kicks in because I'm a dad and that's what I want to know. I want to know where I go for this. Where do I go for an indoor playground? Where do I go for a splash pad? What are some of the best schools? So these are all content pieces. Like I would go, if it's a small area, go highlight like the local schools in the area, sit down with the principal, do like a Zoom podcast style interview, tell us a little bit about your school. Like this is the whole concept of my hashtag Our Hill. Every Wednesday, it's my geo farm, my hometown. I'm looking to highlight everything. And so to be honest, Brooke, I would be relentless in highlighting every single business. Right. And it sounds daunting, but I'm not saying it has to be done in 1 year, but maybe it's a business highlight once every 2 weeks. And the other week, you're highlighting a local amenity, whether it's a park, a splash pad, where to go fishing, where to go. There's no snow there. Where to go? I was going to say skiing.
Oh, there's snow. Oh, there's no skiing.
Okay. But that's what I mean. Like you become Google. Like I don't need to go on Google. I just need to go see Brooke. That's the thing. That's the mentality. Serve the community to the point where like you overtake Google. They're going to go to you. You're like, oh, I remember that. Brooke highlighted that park. We should go there. Right? So there's lots of opportunity for you to like really promote your area. You just have to plan it out.
I love that. I just scratched down like 20 new ideas. So I appreciate that.
And I see you doing plenty of stuff out there. So I would also talk to all of those business owners about doing some sort of spotlight. And as Steven said, it can just be you over Zoom. I think, Steve, who's your client in that does the podcast?
My client who does the podcast, which one?
I'm trying to think. I know a few of them do.
Meadow.
Yes.
Andre Meadow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he does a podcast. I don't know the duration of it, but I see it on Facebook all the time. And it's basically him on Zoom with local business owners. He's done it with mortgage reps. So it's not just like highlighting businesses. He's just highlighting local people in his town. And I mean, he started this during COVID and he's still doing it now, almost a year later.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah. The
I'll have
Meadow
to
View
look at
podcast.
that.
He's my coaching client actually with Tom Ferry. So he absolutely crushes social media. He's the type of person, he's like, tell me what to do, Steve, and I'm going to do it. So even with Andre, we started off with like 2 pieces of content a week. Now I think he's up to like almost every single day. And that's after almost like 2 years. So
Yeah, he's super consistent.
yeah. It's awesome. So
Okay, I'll go follow him as well. Thanks, guys.
thanks, Brooke. Nice to speak to you on Clubhouse. I was going to say nice to see you, because I'm so used to doing so much video. But yeah, nice to connect with you on Clubhouse.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Simmer. Hey, Simmer.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Sorry, I was just talking and just realized that I was on mute, so I had to unmute myself. My apologies.
All good. How can we help you, Simmer?
Yes, thank you so much for hosting this talk show here. It's interesting. My question to you is, when you are editing videos, what programs would you recommend as a starter? Since, I'm starting into this and I want to make sure that whatever I put up, as you were saying, quality should be good, right? People should be attracted to your content, and quality is important. So in terms of editing, what would be the best, or what would be some startup programs for people who are starting?
Are you on a Mac or a PC?
Good question.
I'm on a PC. I do have a Mac, but I don't like that much. So PC, yes.
Okay. The reason why I ask is because iMovie is one of the easiest programs, in my opinion, to use. Steven and I both use Premiere Pro with Adobe. If you don't have graphic design background or video editing background, you're going to be spending a lot of time on YouTube. In my opinion, for Premiere Pro, I think that it's difficult if you've never used Photoshop or Illustrator or things like that. Steve, what are your recommendations for some of the more on the fly type videos?
I'm all about the Adobe suites, and so I love Adobe Rush. That's an app that has similar capabilities as like iMovie. That's a little bit more it's a little bit more involved. But if you do it like a handful of times, I'm going to say probably your 12, 15 video with A and B roll. You can add some music and stuff, kind of make it look. Make it more engaging. I absolutely love Adobe Rush, but it follows the same format as pretty much like iMovie. Now that's a little bit more involved. We're getting a little bit more technical. I'm a huge proponent of Canva. I love Canva so much for the very reason that I can take a stock image, or I can create a background with whatever image I want to, and I can actually just add my video. So let's look at this. Let's do a little bit of a deep dive here. Let's start looking at, let's say your monthly market updates, your housing report stats. Well, why don't you create a graphic, have it behind you, and then you can actually add a video right on top of the graphic. Because what I watch every single month, at the beginning of every month, just the inundation of market report stats on a graphic from almost every single realtor. Now, we as realtors, we can disseminate that information because that's the lane that we live in. But for the general public doesn't know what months of inventory is. So if you put an MOI of 2, we know that that's a seller's market. Well, the general public doesn't know that. For you to be able to add your 2 cents is so paramount. So as opposed to just sending out a static image and having the public trying to disseminate what makes sense and decipher this and that, why don't you add your 60-second opinion of the market? And now, because we know it's a video, it's far more reaching than just a static post. Does that make sense, Simmer?
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure. Now, the programs Adobe Rush, is this something that you use on Mac, or is it something that you would use on, or is it compatible on PC?
It's compatible on PC. It's an app that I use on my iPhone, but it is compatible with PC. The Adobe Rush is essentially Adobe Premiere Pro with not as many functions on an app. So I can just do all the editing on my phone for smaller videos.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thank you so much for hopping on. It's great speaking with you.
Always. Pleasure. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Summer. Jason, your question. Let's have you come up next.
Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah.
What's going on?
So
Great profile pic, man. Great profile pic. So cute.
thanks.
So cute.
I'm looking. This is going to be the year that I want to definitely incorporate social media. I've been in the business, about 6 years now. I've always used Facebook as like coming soon and just listed, just closed escrows, a lot of images there. My Instagram, what I'm afraid of is I've kind of gone down a rabbit hole with my personal life, and and sometimes I wonder. I hear a lot of people say, no, you shouldn't have. There is no such thing as a business Instagram account and a personal Instagram account. Just people want to see the true you. But I feel like sometimes because of my situation, if you see my Instagram account, it's a lot to do with like my son who's like battling cancer. I feel like, man, some of these people are gonna be like, dude, this is depressing. Like we don't want to. Maybe they don't want to see this. And then with it, so much of it being about my personal life, like when do I say, okay, let me throw in a real estate post? And it's like, oh man, here he goes throwing in the real estate post. I'm like, is this just in my head, or is it, is it a valid argument that, is it what I'm saying valid? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just on your post right now. First and foremost, I'm, as a father myself, I'm with you, man. Like that is the battles that you're going through right now. I can't even speak to, because it's like I can't even imagine kind of everything that's going on. But mad props
It's okay.
for just being such a
for the most
kick-ass
part,
dad.
yeah, he's just so everybody knows, he's doing well. He's
Awesome.
fighting and and he's still going through treatment, but he's doing amazing. And so, it's definitely not a sad story. It sucks. So it's a suck story, and what it is. But we're not sad. We're positive, and
Next one.
and that's things are going well for us. So just so everybody knows that it's clear, things are going well and in the right direction. So now I need to start focusing, get back on track with my business, and where do I go from here?
Yeah, Katie, you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, I think that you should have one Instagram. I mean, I think that having more than one is too much. Obviously the people that are on your Instagram, especially if it's very personal now, know, like, and trust you. I think that, as Steve said earlier, kind of on the Just Listed, Just Sold, I think that a lot of people make the mistake of their real estate Instagram just being a highlight reel of how great they are at real estate. And I think for you, you could slowly start to add in more things about, the San Diego community, about things that are happening in real estate. I get more, engagement on posts where it's like, I tried to put in a yard sign and, broke a heel, or, I stepped in an ant pile, or I tripped in some mud and things like that. So, I mean, I think you can start to kind of pepper in real estate stuff, but it doesn't need to be, hey, look at me, look at real estate, type content. So I don't think that, the people that personally and like you and trust you are going to be like, why is he posting this? It's just going to be, a little bit more of a look into your business, life and what you do in real estate. Steve, what do you have to add to that?
Yeah, I think it's, definitely showcase the personal side of you. But what I would love to see is I'd love to see some other personal side of you. Right. I understand like everything that you're going through right now, 100%. But what's your objective? Like at the end of the day, like what tribe are you a part of? Like what's the vibe you're getting out? Like me, and like you followed me even for like a hot second. Like I'm all about like helping people, like pumping people up. Like really, I'm a huge proponent of a rock solid mindset. So I'm only attracting people, clients like that. Right. They know that if they're going to work with me, this is my style. Some people are like, there's no way, the guy's a goof. He's got way too much energy. Nuh-uh, I'm not working with them. That's fine. Because we also don't want to be working with everyone and wasting our time. So I would say on your page, it's everything to do about your son, 100%. But let me ask you, like, what else do you want to let me know about you? Are you a surfer? Do you like fishing? Do you like tacos? Like, show me a little bit more of that personal stuff. And then when you do that, you can start sprinkling in your real estate, 100%. 100%.
Yeah,
because it's just gonna be so much well received. Like if you are just a mad proponent of like fish tacos, and that's all you're on a mission to do is find the best fish tacos in San Diego, and people follow that journey, it's okay to hit them with a little bit of real estate because they're like, oh yeah, that's the fish taco guy. Cool, he's in real estate. But then it's fish taco, fish taco, fish taco. And then what are you doing, Jason? You're just staying top of mind now with people. To the point, it's like, hey, I'm thinking of buying fish taco guy. Oh yeah, he's a realtor. Boom. DM. Right. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
I love tacos.
I know you do. Who doesn't love tacos?
I might have missed the point, but
well, hit up Jason if you're looking for a place in San Diego.
yeah.
He'll point you in the right direction.
I would
And
definitely
tacos as well.
Definitely point in the right direction for sure.
Yeah. So just try to mix up that personal side, that personal stuff, but don't get too random with it. And what I mean by that is try to stay consistent.
Yeah, I
with
understand
your
what you
personal
mean.
stuff. Yeah, yeah. Awesome.
Cool. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason, for your time. Let's stay connected. All right. If we're not following each other on Instagram, let's. I want to stay connected.
Okay, we'll do.
Awesome. Cool. Who's up next? Nathan.
Nathan, yeah.
Your question.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Nathan. I'm out here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I just wanted to get on here and just kind of say everything that you're saying is like absolutely correct. Is as you know, dealing with the client, it takes 30 to 90, sometimes even 6 months to a year. So building relationships is super key. And so I just wanted to say something that's been really working for me in the last like 3 to 6 months is really finding out who my ideal client is and being very specific on that so I can tailor my marketing towards that person. And not that I'm only looking for that person, but that's the person that I relate to most. And that's the person that is going to help me enjoy my career a lot more. So I'm really tailoring to that and being specific on who that person is. That way I can build a relationship with that person on marketing, and that way people will see my personality at this time. So I love everything that you're saying. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And thank you.
Oh, are you?
Awesome. Good deal.
Are you on?
Steve, how are you doing on time?
Good. I probably have like another 10 minutes, but just to quickly touch upon Nathan. Nathan, there's nothing wrong. Like, I think this is the big thing as a realtor. Sometimes we're just like, it's scary to say, you know what, I don't want to work with everyone, right? Because it almost sounds like, who are we to think like, we're at a particular level in our business, or we should just be grateful for everything that comes our way. Look, at the end of the day, our time is super important and super valuable. Look, I only want to work with people who I want to work with, who know what I'm about. I'll say it. That's what I don't want to work with everyone. I just don't. We don't have the time to do that. And I'm all about not only just serving my clients to the best of my capacity, but also having fun. So if they're coming through on whatever social media platform and they already know about me, then it's so much easier for me just to continue to be me because they know that about me. And so it just makes that process more enjoyable at the end of the day. So
Steve,
I don't want to work with everyone.
One thing that I always think that's interesting that you do, Steve, if someone doesn't know you, where do you tell them to go?
Oh man, so good, Katie Day. Thank you for asking that. Every single lead, if I connect with you, the first thing that I tell you to do is, hey, the home searcher set you up on. Any questions about that? Absolutely not. The first thing that I say is, hey, why don't you go check me out on some of my socials? And if I'm the agent that you'd like to work with or get to know a little bit more about, send me a DM. That's it. I didn't say anything about setting you up on a search, how many bedrooms, what's your criteria, what's the pre-approval, everything, because every other realtor does that. I approach it a different way. Hey, if I'm the realtor that you want to get to know more about or want to work with, go check me out on some of my socials. My social media platform is really my resume. it's qualifying every single lead before they come and they interact with me. And some are going to bounce and be like, no, the guy's a goof. No, I don't want to work with them. The others are going to be like, you know what? I'm going to follow him a little bit and see what he's really about. And then they DM me. And at that point, it's a hot lead. Good question.
Awesome. Paul, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Good deal. Thank you for joining us. Did you have a question or a comment?
I had a couple questions, if that's all right. First, I just wanted to say, holy mackerel, the information that I'm getting from this is just amazing. I'm not even a year into being a real estate agent, and so a lot of this is blowing my mind on such a good level. So thank you for all of this. I'm writing down so much.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul.
And with that being said, I actually became a full-time agent this past March. So I picked the best year to do it. I got married in March and just had our first baby about 6 weeks ago.
Man,
so
you sound like you might have a lot going on right these days.
Yeah, seriously.
So 2020 was kind of a chaotic year, to say the least. And I know a lot of people had struggles and everything, but man, the high points of last year just, outweigh the negative so much. And I'm all about positivity, so it's kind of hard not to celebrate a lot. But where my questions come into play is, one, my boss has kind of challenged me to connect with as many people in my sphere of influence as possible. And I'm actually in the Lincoln and Omaha, Nebraska area. I think I'm actually, as I know, the only agent in Nebraska on Clubhouse. So I've been trying to find others to connect with, but I can't find one. My thing is, people in Nebraska, if you could imagine, we're pretty conservative. And so, they're still taking things really serious right now. And so I'm going to try and set up, Zoom really is kind of the main thing that I am going to be able to utilize in this. And so just connecting with my sphere of influence through Zoom and everything like that, what do you feel like is the best way of going about that and, conversing? Because when it comes down to it, obviously I want to talk to them, not about their personal life with real estate, but just, connections. Who do they know? Things like that.
Katie, floor is all yours.
I was gonna say, I feel like you've coached Andre on this. Do you wanna take it?
Well, I think like, every brokerage is going to tell you like, the amount of appointments you're going on, which is directly correlated to like how many conversations you're having. I just use social media, and I know Katie's the same way. We just use social media to like expand our reach. So I get it. Like if your area is a little bit more conservative and you obviously want to transact in that area, you're going to have to tailor that content to be a little bit more conservative. Now, I'm not saying to change who you are, because that's the worst thing that you can do. But let me ask you, like, when you share with me a little bit more, so just so I have an idea as to like how conservative is conservative in your area.
Well, I mean, Lincoln is, it's as conservative as they get probably in the U.S. Omaha is definitely getting a little bit more progressive. I guess one thing that may tie into that, because my next one was obviously dealing exactly with Instagram. My wife is a very, very private person, and I'm a very bubbly big guy, and I love to be as personal as possible, and I'd love to share that as much as I can on Instagram, but we've kind of gone back and forth as far as what I share personal wise, and it's hard for me because I want to share, I want to be as open as possible with that. So I've been kind of battling that as well.
Yeah, I think, in terms of what you want to post, like one of the things that I very, very rarely post are my kids and my wife. And if I do, it's like a very important occasion, whether it's like, my birthday or it's Mother's Day. So I know you'll never really see the actual faces of my kids ever. Even in my stories, I'll block that out. And now my wife and I, after like careful consideration, she's okay with that as well because she doesn't post our kids. Now, when it comes to you being a big bubbly guy, show people the big bubbly guy. Because where I'm at, same kind of idea like you, same type of area like you, it's very conservative. But something's got to break the noise. Something has to break the noise. If every other realtor is playing in the conservative lane, okay, great. But someone's going to break the noise. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be you, the big bubbly guy? Or is it going to be kind of that new kid in the block like a year or 2 years down the road? And you're like, oh my gosh, they're doing it. They're getting the engagement and the attraction, but I could have done that 2 years ago. So I think it all comes back down to mindset, not necessarily like the content. Get yourself out there. Because if you are fun and people want to work with you and you got great energy, I promise you there are people in Nebraska who want to work with you. You're not going to attract everyone, and that's not our goal as realtors and you being first year in the business. Your goal is not to work with everyone. We're not generalists. We are specialists. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Be the first one, Paul. Be the first one.
Appreciate it.
I always forget that we're not on video. So I'm sitting here like nodding to what you're saying, Steve, and realizing that obviously someone, if they're watching on Facebook, can see me nodding, but I'm nodding and smiling. And no one on Clubhouse understands that I'm in agreement with you. So
that's hilarious. I got about 5 more minutes, Katie Day. So I wanna just give some nuggets to people, if that's okay with you.
That is completely fine with me.
Everyone else here. Awesome. So if that's okay, I just want to go over just a couple of things that I think everyone should be paying attention to when it comes to Instagram. Number one is if you do put on a static post, and a static post being not a video, under the advanced settings, so right before you hit share, you'll notice at the bottom there's something called advanced settings. Hit that and then hit alt text. Alt text, A-L-T text, is highly searchable. So Toronto luxury real estate, Toronto condos, Toronto real estate, Toronto first-time home buyer. Put all of that alt text there because it's searchable. That stuff is searchable. So we want to be able to maximize every single post. If it's a static post, again, not a video, make sure you are hitting alt text and put in all of those searchable key terms. The second thing is, the question I get asked a lot is, Steve, when should I be posting my content? Check this site out. It's called Sprout Social, S-P-R-O-U-T, social, S-O-C-I-A-L. They show heat maps for every social media platform, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. And when I'm referring to heat maps, it's telling you when the most amount of engagement can happen on your post. So Sprout Social, I didn't find out about this until about a year ago, but at that time I was well into my video journey. Now, if you're just starting to navigate when to start posting on Instagram, take a look at Sprout Social so that we can maximize the engagement on your post. Again, the caveat here is stay consistent. If you're doing one video, make sure it's on the most engageable. Make sure it's on the day that has the highest level of engagement, and continue posting once a week on that same timeline.
The only thing, can I interject real quick? The only thing I would say on that is don't fall into analysis paralysis. If you like the best time for you to post is every day, right? So yes, you should look to optimize your posts. Yes, you should, if you're a business account, look into your analytics and see when your specific followers are most engaged. But when you should be posting most often is every single day. So that's just something that I think people fall into that. And they're like, oh, well, I have a post, but I'm not going to post it until Tuesday at 12 p.m. And then you forget and your whole world crumbles, right? I think that as you get better with Instagram and as you use it more often, yes, you should be paying attention to things like that. But you also should be doing this consistently. So I agree with Stephen, but want to add that little caveat to that.
Yeah. Bang on, Katie. I think that's fantastic. If you know anything about Katie and I, we're all about video. So obviously video posts will rank higher and have a far greater reach on Instagram. And then the last thing that I want to share is look at Instagram like you do prospecting. with as many people in your area. I'll say it again, in your area. So one of the things that I regularly do, I consistently do, is I'll go on Instagram, I'll hit that search button, so hit that search icon, which is the magnifying glass, and then I'll hit in the search bar, I'll just tap the search bar, and then I'll hit places. The moment I hit places, I'm going to type in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So when I put in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, it shows the map, and then right underneath that are a bunch of posts. There's top and then recent. What I'll do is I'll actually hit recent, and I want to see who's recently on Instagram. And I'm going to start to engage with people. So we talk, a lot of people say, well, how do you build your audience? How do you build your audience? This is the first thing that I did when I started navigating Instagram, is I did this exact same thing. Where's my area? Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Hit recent. And if it's a post that resonates with me, I'm going to engage with you. And I'm not just talking like a thumbs up, but a thoughtful response. Because what I know in Instagram, everyone just sends emojis, a heart, and if they like it, maybe a thumbs up, maybe a smiley face, or a fire, or a 100 emoji, right? Katie, I see you on Facebook right now, you're smiling, because that's what we do. But the people who actually spend a little bit of time to carefully craft a nice comment on my post, you better believe I'm going to engage with you. You better believe that I'm going to leave my page and start to see what you're all about and start to engage with you. That authentic engagement over the broker, I promise you. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. That's the best way to build engagement in your local area. It's essentially social media prospecting. So I'll break it down again. So what I do, hit the magnifying icon, search bar, just tap that, then tap places, type in your area, go to that area, you'll see top and recent, hit recent. And the reason why recent is because I know they're still on Instagram. I know I can still engage with them versus commenting 7 hours later where they're probably not going to respond. And the last thing I'm going to share with you on this is if someone has spent the time to engage with your post, whether it's a comment or an emoji, it is an absolute travesty if you don't engage with them back. I'll say that again. If someone has taken the time on over 1 billion posts they get inundated with on Instagram, and they have liked and commented on your post, and you haven't taken the time to comment back, that's not cool. That is so uncool, not cool.
It's like if someone walks up to you at a party and says, hey, how are you? And you turn around and walk away.
Huge. Bang on. So I'd say those are probably,
I was gonna say one thing to add on too. So Steve was saying you can search places and engage with people that have recently, posted at that place. You can also search and follow hashtags. So if you want to follow, Houston food or Houston beer or Houston lattes or whatever it is, you can follow specific hashtags to connect you with people in your market with your interests. One other thing I would add as we're talking about building an engagement and building following and community is don't buy followers. So my additional 2 cents on that topic.
Yeah. At that point, Katie, I'm with you on that. But if that's what you're about and you're about vanity and you want the most number of followers, like what Katie or I are going to say, doesn't matter. If you're going to buy them, you're going to buy them at the end of the day. But just be careful. Just be careful if you do. That's your vanity play, because what people are going to do, they're smart on Instagram, don't forget. Like if someone's got 10,000 followers or 100,000 followers or 1 million followers, and I like their stuff, I want to know a little bit more about them. I'm going to pay attention to see how much engagement are they getting? And Katie, I know you and we know we can do this quite quickly, is I know if you've bought followers. Well, and also at a certain point in time too, Instagram will wipe out the bots, and then you'll go from 70,000 followers down to 12. Also, it's a waste of money. Huge. It's a vanity play. Who cares? If someone is simply gonna, first of all, I don't know anyone who's just simply gonna ask you to help buy or sell their house because of the number of followers you have. I don't know anyone who does that. I think it's going to be what's this person about? What kind of value are they providing me? Sure. Now they're worth a DM. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Sweet. Well, this was cool. Fun, I think we should do this again. I know. If you guys have other topics that you would like Steve and I to talk about, please let me know. Steve, I know you have to hop off. I think Shanae has another question, so I'll stay on to answer that.
But yeah, if you guys have other topics you want us to cover, we love making fun of each other and talking about food. So we enjoy spending time together. So if you guys have things, shoot us a DM. We would love to hop on here and chat more. Is it Shanae?
Yes, you actually said it right.
Yes.
Hi, Katie.
Hey, what's going on? How can we help?
So I've never actually spoken on any of these. This is my first time.
Welcome.
Thank you. So I've been listening in here and there. I've got a couple phone calls that have interrupted. So excuse me if I'm like asking a repetitive question. So I just completed my first full year as a real estate agent. I do it part-time. I'm actually a law enforcement officer as well. So I'm wanting to leave law enforcement and pursue real estate full-time. I did $3 million in sales, and I just obviously want to just get better, and I want to get my Instagram better. And I heard you guys say like not to have an Instagram full of just real estate, and that's what I have right now. So I need to work on, I guess, incorporating everything else that I do, because I do have a lot of other things. But I've just been hesitant because it's like when you're a law enforcement officer, you kind of get used to just having kind of a private life.
Yeah.
Like I don't put anything personal on my page, but I want to. I mean, I do want to transition into that. I guess I just need tips. And
Yeah.
Like another question I do have is just like 90% of my clients are law enforcement. Do you think that like that's a good niche, or like I should continue focusing on that?
Yeah. So for sure. So I'm on your Instagram right now, and I see what you're saying. So I think that one thing to kind of keep in mind as far as putting more information out there that's not just real estate related, I totally get that you want to keep, some of your personal life personal. I would say that I would recommend you highlight things in Atlanta. So obviously, in law enforcement, I don't know if you're, in an office or out in the field or what that looks like for you. But if you are out and about, you can take pictures or video of different things when you're around and, feature local businesses, feature, the coffee shop on the corner and things like that. So you can pepper in additional content outside of just listed and just sold. Does that make sense?
Okay.
As far as your bio and your page, I would recommend adding your name. So when you first open your page up at the top, all it says is real estate agent. So I would have that be your name. And you can do that in your profile just by editing it. I like, that your bio is, bullet points. It's easy to read. You've got a link to Facebook, Instagram, credit repair, lease purchase, scheduling a consultation. So yeah, that's great. As far as featuring more about you, it doesn't necessarily need to be, your personal life and what you do every single, minute of the day, but you could definitely start adding in additional information about Atlanta and the different areas you serve. As far as client base, I think obviously, when you have, an in with other law enforcement, that definitely, makes it a lot easier because they already know you and like you and trust you. You can obviously continue to expand that, but I think, you'll see that happen as you continue to do more transactions and have more clients. So I think there's an agent in San Antonio, Trey Serrano, and he is former law enforcement as well. And he, recently transitioned into real estate full time. But almost his entire team is first responders, veterans, and that's kind of their, niche in San Antonio. So it's definitely something that, is, something that they focus on.
Would you be able to provide maybe his Instagram just so I guess I'm trying to figure out how I can target more of that clientele.
Yeah, for sure. Shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM on
Okay.
Instagram and I can definitely link you up to his page. I think that some of your content too could be, I know they have them in Texas. I assume that they probably have them in Atlanta and Georgia as well, but doing, different programs and loan, loan and down payment programs for law enforcement and first responders and things like that. I don't know if they exist, but that could be something that you teach people about,
Awesome. Yes. Thank you so much.
Cool. Well, guys, I appreciate your time. Steve just texted me and says that he is very sorry for not saying goodbye. His internet cut out and it kicked him out of the room, so he did not mean to leave so abruptly. But that is all we've got time for today. If you guys do have other things that you would like to hear about, please feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram, and we would love to chat. But hope y'all are having a great Monday, and we'll talk to you soon.